Good morning. You are live with Johnathan Maness, AKA the One Leg Bandit. And today I am very, very proud. I get to bring a book release to you with one of my newest partners, Neufit. This technology is just game changing. It's just exactly what Maness Veteran Medical is trying to do, trying to bring this type of technology to our veterans and our DoD service members. So, right now, I'm going to go ahead and bring in the CEO of Neufit, and we're just going to share some knowledge with you, share the new book with you, and just go over what Neufit is. Good morning, Garrett.
Good morning, Jonathan. How are you?
I'm doing good today. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for having me on here. It's awesome to see you, and I'm really excited to share the book here. It is launch day.
I know, and thank you so much for spending a little bit of time with us today and just letting the VA and the DoD know exactly what's going on. So, Garrett, if you would, please just tell us all what is Neufit and how your journey started, and what is the Neufit method?
Absolutely, yeah. So we work with professional athletes, soldiers, and elite operators. We work with veterans. We work with patients who have had strokes and spinal cord injuries to help them recover faster from injury, to restore function that they've lost due to various injuries or even neurological diseases or conditions. And then we also help them activate their muscles in a way once they've recovered to help either return to play as an athlete or to uh, restore function and build strength and build a safe and sustainable fitness and training program for the long term. And reason that we're able to the reason that we're able to help people across that whole continuum is that there's this common thread throughout all of those, from injury rehabilitation at the early stage to restoring function for neurological patients to optimizing health and performance. The common thread throughout all of that is the nervous system. And with the Neufit method, what we describe in this book, and with the Neubie device, we are first of all finding where there are dysfunctions in the nervous system that can either delay the healing process or cause people to be limited in terms of their strength or movement or pain, experience chronic pain. There's pain after an immediate injury. Then there's pain that lingers even after an injury is healed. There's these chronic pain syndromes that are very neurological in nature. They're driven by the brain. The brain makes this active output signal of pain. And what we're trying to do is identify where, throughout this continuum, identify where in the nervous system there are any issues that need to be addressed, and address them very directly with the direct current signal of the Neubie device. And one of the interesting components of this, and something that we definitely touch on in the book and that we really emphasize in our work, is this neurological response to injury, and how so many times when we when we get injured or are working with a patient who has an injury, we are, yeah, and some of it rightfully so we're so focused on the tissue that has been injured, and that unfortunately overlooks a big part of the healing process. By focusing so much on the tissue or the hardware, we sometimes neglect the software of neurological function. And the neurological response to injury is so important, because if let's say Jonathan, you're back in your high school football days. If you're uh, if you are, oh, I see a comment from Dr. Steve Capobianco there. Thank you, Capo. Thank you very much. Good to see you. So if you are, oh, I got a book for you too. I'm gonna reach out to you to drop it off for you. So if you're back in your football playing days, and you sprain your ankle, for example, normally, depending on the severity of the injury, you're going to be told, it might be 3 or 4 weeks to recover if it's, a grade 2 plus injury. And part of the reason it takes so long to recover is that you're actually blocking your own healing process, because of that injury and trauma. You are going to naturally, your brain is oriented towards survival. Your brain's first priority is to protect you. And so it is going to shut down muscles around that ankle. It's going to create tension in other muscles. It's going to create the output signal of pain as your brain's way of saying, don't load that area. And this whole suite of protective mechanisms, it can be productive if your ankle is going to get pounded again, but it's actually counterproductive for healing, for movement, And part of it is as simple as, when your body's holding all that tension there, it's literally blocking the flow of blood and nutrients, the raw materials that need to heal. So you're not just metaphorically, very literally standing in the way, or impeding, or at least delaying your own healing process. And we find that when we go through this Neufit method, when we identify, scan around with the Neubie device, scan around on the body, identify where those protective patterns are present, and then reset them, we often find that we're able to help athletes in this case. If we're talking about you and your high school football playing days, often able to help athletes recover in 1 week instead of 3 or 4. And it's because the body is capable of doing that already. The body really is the miracle. We're just, by managing this response, by recalibrating this response to injury, we're able to remove those impediments and help the body be able to do its thing and recover at the rate that it really truly is capable of. And it seems, sometimes miraculous or crazy, but it really is. Now we've seen it enough times that we know the body can do it, and it's just a matter of getting those impediments out of the way.
It's about knowledge, isn't it, Garrett? We have to let everyone know about this outstanding product. Look, my mission at Maness Veteran Medical, especially after losing my leg and getting prescribed all those painkillers and all that, we've got to get people off of painkillers. Painkillers is not the solution to getting better. It is a mask, and it's a mask that's very addictive. And any type of situation where we can better folks without painkillers, I'm all about it. But let's take this all the way back to square one, Garrett. Tell us about yourself. How did you come up with this outstanding idea? What brought you here, and how did you get to this book release date? Tell us the past journey.
It's interesting. I actually had an injury. I mean, not anywhere near as severe and life altering as your own, but I can relate to how you were able to take your injury, the loss of your leg, and turn that into an experience you went through dealing with pain and those challenges, and turn that into something that you've really been able to channel to help people. That really resonates with me, because my story is similar in the sense that I had an injury playing college ice hockey. I had some torn ligaments in my wrist. I was supposed to have surgery and be out for 3 months. And I just figured that would be that, because I didn't know any better at the time. All I knew was really that hardware-based, tissue-based approach. And I was very fortunate through a friend of a friend. I met a chiropractic neurologist who was doing this functional neurology work. And he was the first to introduce me to this concept that instead of just focusing on the tissues, we can actually work on reactivating and properly activating the muscles around that injury so they can support the injured tissue as it heals. And he also introduced me to a more primitive version at the time, but introduced me to direct current and the healing potential that direct current has, and how direct current, as opposed to alternating current, how direct current, by setting up this electrical field gradient, could actually increase the function and optimize the function of the cells that control healing and regeneration of bone and muscle and connective tissue. And in working with him, I had this really incredible recovery experience where my ligaments healed on their own in 2.5 weeks. I avoided surgery altogether. And having gone through that experience, I was blown away. I was totally enamored with it, because at the time I was in school. I was physics major. I was already set to go to graduate school in engineering. And it really all made sense to me just from that very, it might be maybe to a fault, excessively left brain logical, but it really made sense to me from that perspective. And so I liked it conceptually. I loved the results that I got. And going through that experience, I just had this calling to share this work with as many people as I could. And that's 15 something years ago. So now, I had no idea what it would look like at the time, but that inspired me as I was finishing up my engineering school time here at the University of Texas. How I got to Austin. I started a clinic out of I partnered with a chiropractor here in town and got a little 150 square foot room in the back of his office, started doing this work with those more primitive devices using functional neurology. And over time, I kept seeing, I wanted the technology to be able to do more. So after 6 or 7 years, I finally decided to leverage my engineering background and create the next generation of the device. And that led to the Neubie device. But ultimately, it was that really profound experience I had. And that injury turned out to be one of the biggest blessings of my life.
Amen. And the same thing with my leg. I tell people, God wanted me to move just a little bit slower. So, you know, so it's what it is. And it slowed me down to make me understand. But like you said, the calling, I was sitting in the VA one day and I knew that I could make a difference in the VA and the type of care that people were getting. I could see that they were buying products just to be buying products. They wasn't giving the highest quality products. Nobody cared enough to do that. So Maness Veteran Medical is trying to bridge that gap and bring outstanding products like this, the Neubie, to the VA and the DoD. And here's the crazy thing. Garrett, you have cutting edge technology here. We know that it works. I've seen that it works. You've seen that it works every single day. But in the VA and the DoD, with their process, it takes sometimes 3 to 5 years to get cutting edge technology into the VA and DoD. Now, with an SDVOSB like Maness Veteran Medical, we can bring it right to their doorstep, say, hey, this is what it is. This is the cost. Give this a chance. Let us show you that it works. And I am so excited that we're now getting to the point where we can bring this to the VA and to the DoD and let them know what the deal is here. If you would, please, Garrett, tell everyone about your book. What's in there? Why do we need to read the book? What gets you most excited about your book?
So the book, I'm really pleased to share for a couple reasons. Before I get into that, though, I definitely want to echo what you said, Jonathan, about. I mean, first of all, for all of our active duty military and for veterans, I can't think of a population we'd rather share this work with. If for no other reason than to show our gratitude for people who are in pain or still dealing with injuries or other challenges and difficulties because of the service they provided to our country. And there's nothing that's more rewarding or gratifying for us than to share this work and help transform and improve the lives of our active duty military and veterans. So I'm so grateful to you for helping us bridge that gap and share this work with those people. And in terms of the book is intended to, first of all, introduce these neurological concepts that are so vitally important for healing, health, and performance, and then share through some examples and greater detail how applying neurology for rehabilitation can help improve and accelerate recovery from injury, from surgery, for chronic pain patients, for patients with neurological conditions like stroke, spinal cord, MS, etc. And uh, really trying to bring those concepts to life in ways that even if you don't have one of our devices, can still help you, can still provide value. Hopefully many people will see this and feel inspired either to reach out to us and consider getting a device in their practice, or for individuals, finding a practitioner who has it, go into our website, checking out the directory, finding someone near them. But even if you don't have a Neubie or have access to one, a lot of the principles in here you can apply, and there's some exercises that we share and different techniques that we share that can be applied even without the device. So first of all, we're applying those neurological principles to rehabilitation, and then we are applying them into longer term fitness and athletic performance in that realm to help people build a safe and sustainable fitness practice that can support their health, build the body up rather than breaking it down. And when we look specifically through the realm of neurology at this realm of fitness and performance, look specifically through the lens of neurology, that's where looking at the stress response to injury is so important, and how so many times we train and we think we're doing something that's good for us, that's going to help us be healthier, be fitter, be better. But many times it actually is stressful and can be, at least to some degree, can be counterproductive. So we talk about how to approach that to build something that's really sustainable and is going to promote health in the long term. And then, since we're talking so much about the nervous system, how it impacts healing and fitness and performance, we then also go into specific indicators of how to actually see and measure and detect how the nervous system is working. And some of it's as simple as, how much energy you have during the day, and can you get through all of your things that you want to do. You can self-check subjectively like that. And then there's objective measurements, looking at everything from heart rate variability and your resting heart rate, indicators like that. We also talk about how to look at your things like bowel movements, for example, because those are a really good window into digestion, and elimination is a really good window into how well the nervous system is working, how well we're handling the various stresses and challenges of our lives. And then there's other, beyond training, with or without Neufit technology, other lifestyle, like nutritional and sleep habits and different things that we can do to improve the function and health of the nervous system. So we're looking very, again, specifically through that neurological lens. And these are things that anybody can do. And some of it, will be familiar to people, but some of it, when you're looking through the lens of the nervous system, some of it's a little bit different. We start to prioritize even more things like inflammation, because inflammation, if it gets in your brain, that's why we can feel brain foggy. And that's why we can, our cognitive function, IQ, can actually go down. Decision making can get, can be less effective if we have a meal that spikes our inflammation, or if we have issues with blood sugar. So we take a lot of these themes in health and tie them back into the health of the brain and nervous system. And I'm really excited to share the book. I hope that it resonates with people. We've gotten some really good feedback from people who've read advanced copies, and it's been very positive so far. And we have right now, for this week, the book is on Amazon and it's 99 cents. We have a special promo for the first week, 99 cents on Kindle. And you can just go on Amazon, search the Neufit method, and it's on there. So we want to be able to get the word out, and are really excited to share it. And as part of the story, also, you kind of mentioned at some point, or asked, what inspired me to write the book, why I wrote the book, and it's been really interesting, this journey. I mentioned over the last 15 years since I first had this experience recovering from my wrist injury, and then starting to apply these concepts from functional neurology with earlier direct current. I actually went back to graduate school for additional work in neuroscience. I studied with several influential mentors. I read, you can see half of my library here, read, literally hundreds of books. And people ask me often, hey, where can I read about this? Where can I get the book? And until launching this book, my answer to them would be, well, here's my top 10 or here's my top 15 books. What we've done is piece together this breadcrumb trail from neuroscience, from physical therapy, from exercise science, from physiological psychology, from all these different areas. And so I'm really excited now when people ask that question, hey, where can I read about this? I can give them something that ties it all together in a way where people can really see the power of the nervous system.
Well, I tell everyone, Garrett, that I meet about your brand and about yourself, and I know that you are a true pioneer. I can feel it when I talk to you. The first time we talked to each other, I knew that you cared so much about your product and your business, just like I do about Maness Veteran Medical. But the cool thing, Garrett, is you've got something that people just can't even understand. Like, we're talking right now, but I don't think they really, if they haven't seen this yet, would understand the power of this, the power of speeding up healing by months or weeks, and the power of getting stronger doing the same amount of weight when you're working out. And if you would, Garrett, please elaborate a little bit about, just the workout side of things. When you're using the Neubie, when you're working out, what is it doing to your muscles?
Yeah, that's a great question. When you're talking about how it can be difficult for people to fathom, I mean, part of that is, we can talk about it and it may sound interesting, but really it's experiencing it. So, finding a practitioner nearby, or for the people in the VA who we're working together, to introduce this product to, having us go on site and provide these physical demonstrations. And when people really experience it, for immediate injury and pain relief, for chronic pain patients, we can put a pin in that metaphorically and come back to it. And then to your point about training and activating muscles, it's really interesting. One use case for this would be, let's say, I know we're giving you all these pretend injuries here, but let's pretend you're an athlete again, Johnathan, here back in your high school days, and you have a lumbar spine injury. Let's say you have a lumbar spine injury and you want to train your legs, get a max strength stimulus. You're trying to really train there, and you can't squat or deadlift because you don't want to put any weight on your back, but you still want to really engage those muscles. Well, you could put the pads on your glutes and your quads and your hamstrings, train them all at the same time, dial the settings to where you're going to be increasing muscle recruitment to the same level as if you were lifting very heavy, but you can just do body weight exercises and you can still get the same types of muscle building, same benefits for teaching the neurological skill of strength and muscle recruitment, and also training to increase hypertrophy and muscle building. We have our first couple studies on this topic are coming out of the University of South Florida in Tampa with the exercise physiology lab there, and they're seeing that you can do, in one arm, for example, bicep curls with 80% of 1 rep max. You can do the same bicep curls with the Neubie device applied on the other arm with no weight and get the same types of benefits. If you look at it on ultrasound, you'll see increase in muscle thickness and fluids moving inside the muscle cells. All these changes, these same changes that happen after weightlifting will happen after this, and yet it's safer and more sustainable. So let's say now you're you're injured because you still have some lingering injury, you have chronic pain, or let's say you're a busy professional and whatever the circumstances are where you need to more safely and perhaps more efficiently and certainly more effectively need to engage your muscles. You can put this anywhere that you're trying to activate. You can put it on your glutes, you can put it on your arms, you can put it on your pecs and lats, and you can help increase the activation of those muscles. And one of the cool things about it is that unlike traditional electrical stimulation, which is alternating current, where you have to rely on that to contract your muscles for you, this actually has, because it's direct current, because of the sensory and afferent, because of that input to the nervous system and brain, you actually get this longer term training effect where you'll learn to better activate your muscles. So the next time you go to train, even if you don't have the device on, we hear this all the time. People will say, oh, dang, I actually felt my lats engage. Oh, that's what it feels like to retract my scapula. Or, oh my gosh, I actually felt my glutes during and after my deadlift exercises. Or, I mean, that's incredible. I never felt those before. I haven't felt those in such a long time. And, we hear that all the time. So it's not just about relying on the machine. People can and certainly do enjoy continuing to use the machine because it allows that safe and sustainable and also very time efficient way to train. But it can, even a few sessions can give somebody a boost and they don't even have to use it all the time.
Everyone that's watching this, my son Tony was fortunate enough to go out there and intern with Garrett, and he told me that the difference of working out after utilizing the Neubie is absolutely mind-blowing. You can't explain how all the muscles actually, like Garrett just said, engage after you've used the Neubie. So I challenge everyone, every VA, every DOD out there. The money is not a problem here. Y'all need to try this. I want you to go to manessveteranmedical.com or email me at theonelegbandit@manessveteranmedical.com or check out the website, neufit.com. You've got to learn about this product, and we need to share the word. That's what we got together for. We knew that this product needed to be out there and needed to be seen. So, Garrett, if you would, do you have any last thoughts that you'd like to put out there for today? I really appreciate your time being here with us. And, I know we're on a great mission together. I appreciate you choosing Maness to be your partner.
Yes, absolutely. It's a tremendous honor to be able to work with you. I so appreciate your work and the opportunity to work with you, to share Neufit with DOD, with active duty military, with the VA, with our veterans. And one closing thought I would share is in this chronic pain realm, because I know there are so many veterans like yourself who have issues with chronic pain. And one of the things that I really intend to do with this book, and hopefully we do a good job of, is sharing the modern understanding of pain. We've learned a lot about pain. It's no longer about this gate theory. The modern neuroscience of pain tells us that pain is an active output signal from the brain in response to a perceived threat. That perceived threat can be real or imagined, but it's always related to some protective pattern, some hypersensitivity, some excessive reaction within the body, where chronic pain lingers even long after an injury is healed, because the body stays locked in that protective state. It's reacting, like if there were a venomous snake coming into my office here, for me to react is appropriate. That's protective. But if I react the same way to a rubber snake, that's excessive. And the brain reacts to a rubber snake, reacts to something that is healed as if it's, it's overreacting as if it's a venomous snake. And that is why we get locked into pain. And this process can help us very quickly identify where exactly in the body that reaction, that pattern is present, and recalibrate it And we've seen profound transformations in patients with chronic pain, even severe, like debilitating CRPS types of pain. So that's one thing I want to share, because I think that there's a real opportunity to quell the use of opioid pain medications and help a lot of people who are dealing with the challenges associated with relying on those. It's, can be very, very difficult. And obviously, and everyone who's listening here knows how bad that situation is. So that's, one thought on which I'd like to close. And if anyone has any questions, of course, reach out to Johnathan. Our website, yes, neufit.com, will forward you over there. And, please reach out to us. Johnathan and his team and myself and our team, we'd love to talk with you and share more about Neufit and, talk about how we can work together.
Well, Garrett, I really appreciate your time today. Thank you so much and good luck. I know it's going to be a great success with your book. And like you said, just handing out that knowledge. Every time somebody has a question, you get to hand it right to them. And today, I challenge everyone to get your mind blown. Go to YouTube, type in Neufit, watch some of the videos. Check this out. Knowledge is power. You've got to go there today to learn this. Then reach out if you're VA and DOD or anybody that has questions about this. Reach out to Maness Veteran Medical. I'm going to close this video with a commercial that was made for Neufit. I want everybody just to see the Neubie and all that. But Garrett, thank you so much for your time, and I hope you have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Johnathan. You too.
Appreciate it. All right, everyone. So I'm going to share this video here. I just want you to check this out and see the Neubie, kind of see what we're talking about here. Any questions, I'm always here for you. Call me, reach out to me. I just am so proud of my partners and what we're trying to do at Maness Veteran Medical. We're going to change the VA and the DOD over the next 3 to 5 years. We're already changing it. Contracts are coming in for different partners and products. But I know what we're going to do and the level we're trying to lift up to. When you go to the VA, they're not going to give you pills to mask pain. We're going to fix pain. We're going to fix long-lasting injuries. We're going to start scanning folks for things before they happen. We're going to do things the right way. And we can do this just by asking questions and working together. And to be honest with you, just loving one another. That's what it's all about. Truthfully caring about one another and not worrying about money. If you do that, then you're just going to be blown away with the types of changes we can make in the world. So let me get to this video here. Let's see here. Definitely. Here we go.
Without the Neubie, I wouldn't have been able to get back on the board. I was on the board with a rope that was too long for me. It wrapped around my leg and dragged me under the water. Even after just the first time, I saw immediate results and knew that I had to continue using the Neubie for my rehab process. When I'm wake surfing, I feel like I'm in a state of flow. It brings me a lot of joy, and I wasn't sure when I was going to be able to be back on the board, but with the Neubie, it provided me a really fast path to get back to doing what I really love.
Everyone, again, thank you for your time. Go to YouTube, check out Neufit, enjoy your day, and I'll holler at you later. Thank you.